Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov suggested the government is trying to distract attention, having failed to fulfill their promises over Brexit. The Kremlin continues to deny responsibility over the poisoning of the former spy and his daughter Yulia in Salisbury last month, and in a news conference today, Mr. Lavrov accused Western countries of playing children's games as he hinted it was possible that Britain was behind Mr. Skripal's poisoning. Mr. Lavrov said, "There are other explanations besides those put forward by our Western colleagues who declare that it can only be the Russians who are responsible," he said. Experts say that it could be highly advantageous to the British security services as well, who are well known for their capacity to act with a license to kill. It could also be advantageous to the British government, who clearly find themselves in a difficult situation, having failed to fulfill their promises to voters over Brexit. In times of Cold War there were some rules, but now Britain and the United States had dropped all propriety. The foreign minister blasted Britain in a scathing attack today, calling the UK's refusal to provide access to poisoned double agent Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia Skripal outrageous. Sergei Lavrov has come out swinging over Roe. Boris Johnson's opposite number said Britain is putting all decency aside over the row. He said, "I consider this as outrageous that so far our multiple requests demanding access to our citizens have been rejected or have remained unanswered. I want to reiterate that Russia has no relation to the Skripal's poisoning, but we are very interested, probably more than anyone else, in establishing the truth about our citizens' fate." Mr. Lavrov went on to attack Britain and our international allies, who orchestrated the expulsion of 130 Russian spies from around the globe last month in response to the Kremlin's provocation. Boris v. Lavrov, key players in the Skripal debate. He said, "Today, our Western partners, and I first of all refer to the Great Britain, the United States and some other countries, which are blindly guided by them, put all of their decency aside and resort to bold lies and fake news. Our responses to all of this are calm and weighted as we keep insisting that all accusations and allegations must be backed with the facts." The Russian foreign minister Mr. Lavrov also slammed the British armed forces, accusing them of unjust killings around the globe. He said, "Experts say this may be rather advantageous for Britain's special services, which are known for their ability to act with a license to kill. This can be also beneficial to the British government, which found itself in an inconvenient situation after failing to fulfill its promises to voters on Brexit's conditions." Vladimir Putin's spokesman has said that the Kremlin will retaliate further if Britain fails to back down from its position in this diplomatic row. Dmitry Peskov said, "Moscow is thoroughly analyzing every unfriendly step taken against the Russian Federation, and each such unfriendly step eventually gets a response, which has a respective formulation. That is why let's not run ahead. Moscow will not leave such steps unanswered." Boris is batting for Britain in Skripal dispute, but Boris Johnson has taken a clear and firm line against Russia over their attack on British soil. Mr. Johnson said that the prospect of Mr. Putin glorying in hosting this summer's World Cup was emetic. The former mayor of London went on to agree with comparisons between the 1936 Olympic Games in Hitler's Germany and the 2018 World Cup in Putin's Russia. He said, "Yes, I think the comparison with 1936 is certainly right. No matter how exactly it came to be done, the pathway, the chain of responsibility seems to me to go back to the Russian state and those at the top." Defense Secretary Gavin Williamson has also expressed anger at Russia's response to the incident, as the Russian embassy's Twitter account continues to make light of the situation. The Russian embassy asked a series of rhetorical questions on Twitter, including, "Has the substance identified by British representatives as Novichok or analogous substances been researched, developed or produced in the UK?" Mr. Williamson said, "The Kremlin's response has been to unleash a tidal wave of smears, lies and mockery.